Guy, anxiety. How to date with anxiety. Well, I can tell you right now, myself included, and every human being on this planet has anxiety. It's called being human. So give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Some people have it more than others. Fair enough. I've spent decades with crippling anxiety at times. Always revolved around relationships for me, certain situations, because of unhealed trauma and wounds from childhood that manifested in just extreme anxiety attacks. Here's the cool part though about anxiety. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it's irrational. I got it. Been there. It's awful. Your anxiety is literally the showing you what you need to work on. Most of the time, like, what's on the other side of that anxiety is what you want, right? If you have a fear of being vulnerable with someone, communicating your needs because you're afraid that, I'm not even gonna, hold on. You have anxiety about that. Ask yourself, like, why am I getting anxiety about this? Like, shadow work, Carl Jung, baby, the OG. He invented this strategy and prioritized in psychology about exploring your dark side. The dark side. Darth Vader. I love Star Wars, man. I got a tattoo of that right there. Anyways, follow the trail of whys, right? Why am I getting anxiety about this? And you're going to just keep following the trail. You're going to, maybe this is just an example. Like, you'll find out that you have a fear of abandonment. If I open myself up, they're going to abandon me. They see the real me. They're not going to want to love me. Everyone has something like this. I think this is how it becomes toxic though, right? Is people remain closed down, don't ever be vulnerable, and their way of getting love from you is to maybe ignore you, make you question yourself, make you question your reality, so that then they start gaslighting you so they can build up their confidence. I've done a video on gaslighting, but like, that's when it becomes toxic. I don't think it's toxic to just have anxiety. It's not toxic to just have anxiety, especially if you voice it and you just own it. But lean into it. Lean into that anxiety. Like, it's irrational and it's not like real. It's just a fictitious part of your mind. Still do it. Because think about it like this. Like, if you don't do it, if you don't open up and be vulnerable with someone, or you don't communicate with someone, or you don't express your needs ever because of your anxiety, the relationship is going to end anyways. Because that's not healthy. That's not stable. Or it's just going to be a really tumultuous relationship. So either way, you might as well just try. And then when you are blessed, if you're fortunate enough to have someone that, responds to that, and you don't even have to do it in your relationships, do it in every aspect of your life, with your family, your friends, your roommates, I don't know, whoever. Just keep practicing it, keep leaning into it, because eventually you're going to see, like, wow, this was completely irrational. Your brain is going to rewire and be like, okay, like, I don't know why I was afraid of this. That's one. Two, you have to become aware. You have to use the shadow work. You have to, when you have those crippling, I'm not talking about like a little general anxiety, which we all have. If I drink coffee, I get freaking anxiety. Like, my nervous system is so sensitive. My antenna is so sensitive. Like, my God, like, I can't even chew gum sometimes. Like, gum makes me anxious. Like, are you kidding me? I freaking love bazooka gum. Like, I want to chew gum, for God's sakes. But anyway, just thinking about it, but like, goodness gracious. you have to do the shadow work. You have to follow those trail of whys. Like, once you become aware of the anxiety, where it comes from, okay, this is a fear of abandonment anxiety. Two things. You can communicate that. You know, I don't know what's the word, like labeling it and putting it out in the open makes it kind of less in your head. It just makes it less like affecting on your mind. And two, lean into it. Continue to practice to lean into it. That's how you heal. You know, you don't have to go to the mountains in Nepal to figure out how to like heal childhood trauma wounds. Like, again, some of it's, I get it though. It's bad. Sometimes you like do it a couple times and then you just stop doing it because it's just it's really hard. This is really, really hard stuff. So like, do it at your own pace and don't be too hard on yourself. Because I've been there, like, you know, sometimes you're excited in a new relationship or in a new situation, you're going to just do it a few times, but then it's not a habit yet, it's not who you are yet, so you might not do it all the time, which is fine. It's okay. You know, nothing wrong with you. Give yourself some love, man. Anytime that happens, just, okay, it's cool. It's good. Whatever your name is, whoever you are, like, you know, I'll just do me. Like, hi, it's cool, man. You know, it's all good, baby. Maybe when the anxiety attack subsides, you know, you can wait a little bit and then you can go do it. This is hard. Again, I'll say it again. It's just, this is hard stuff. But like, what's the alternative to doing this? Living your entire life with this irrational fear in this certain situation? You know, I'm not saying that you don't, you know, that it's ever gonna go away fully or anything, but like it will be so manageable to the point that it doesn't really bother you so much. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work in the introspection. Like, you have to do the introspection and the work like, it needs to become a daily thing. Like, the biggest way that you can become more self-aware and really start your spiritual journey is to clean up your diet, balance your nervous system with those habits, semen retention if you're a guy, conserving your sexual energy if you're a woman, you know, raising your vibration, only hanging, you know, like, change your company, change your job if you need to, change where you live if you need to, but you need to get to a place where you're not being overly stimulated with your nervous system all the time. Check it. Like, can you drink coffee every day? Like, if you can't, then, you know, I know I'm kind of getting off topic here. Then, like, you know, if that gives you anxiety, extra anxiety, you know, like, there's certain lifestyle habits you can change that will dramatically lower your daily level of anxiety, and then your anxiety in these tense situations, so you can start to do the work. But that introspection needs to be a daily thing. So that's one, the spirituality, like, clean up your nervous system, ground your nervous system. And two, do the introspection. Follow those trail of whys. You know, Carl Jung, man, follow those trail of whys. But just because you have anxiety doesn't make you less of a person, a bad dating partner, or insecure. Like, we all have insecurities. Anyone that sits there and acts like they you know, too perfect, they're the most insecure ones. You know, I've said this before in other videos. That's why, like, sometimes it's hard for me to relate to some of these big names on YouTube and these, like, people that, like, edit their videos and make them super perfect and, like, all this stuff. And when you talk to them, they're on the stage and the podium and they just look like, you know, you're like, man, I can't live up to that. Like, they just look too perfect. Well, you have someone follow those guys around with the camera every day, like, they're just as human as the rest of us. It's why I don't edit my videos. Like, it's just like, look, like, here is me. You can either accept this or not. You know, yeah, cool. You know, Darth Vader, love me some Darth Vader. Yeah, but Lean into that anxiety, you know. And also give yourself some grace, some time. Like, this is going to take some time. These habits that you build, like maybe you spent your entire life operating this certain way. Now you're trying to change something. Like, this isn't going to happen overnight. So give yourself that love and that grace, man. Lean into that anxiety. Prove to yourself that it's just irrational. Ground your nervous system. This stuff is not going to work as effectively if you don't have a clean diet, you're not exercising regularly, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, hanging out with good company, raising your vibration. This stuff gets a million times easier when you're starting to have those foundational habits in play. Yeah, these mosquitoes are just, my God. Wow, good Lord. But on that note, guys, I hope everyone just has a fantastic day. Y'all are just doing so good. Y'all are doing so good, man. I got love, so much love for everyone, man. So you guys y'all have a fantastic evening. Okay.